startup taboos you should break. We often fall into the same psychological trap. Which one? The society has been dictating us its rules for quite a long time, for centuries. And it has touched upon all the aspects of our daily life. And your business is not an exception for that. How often do you have thoughts which prevent you from being aggressive and launching what you want to? In order to succeed in some things, you have to break certain taboos, certain stereotypes that prevent you from this. So let's take a look at this list of the things which you should get rid of, all alone in the dark. Somehow, supporting other startups is not a common thing to do. Nevertheless, despite what you might think, this is a really useful tip for you. You can build a whole network of colleagues, of investors and other people. Just make it an example. Look at the Twitter subscriptions of web app seed. Have you noticed how many of these subscriptions are startups and just good projects? Keeping in touch with other people can help you in a different way. You can have a whole network of such things. And you know what? It's not a question of competition, it's rather an essential tool of your partnership. Fear of the new world. Keeping old traditions alive is a good thing to do, but not when it comes to your own business. And your product may be just outdated or old-fashioned. And what is your best option? Your best option is to go ahead of the time, but try not to make it go ahead of you. Remember those people who suggested some weird stuff like smartwatch, for example, or some other things? But who is laughing now? We can take any simple things, any business, any enterprise, not exactly the tech aspect. And the world we live in demands just constant improvement, regular changes and self-reflection. Remember that even the most flourishing enterprise demands a fresh look sometimes. And here you have two possible solutions. The first option is that you will drown in your own stability, deadly stability. And successful founders, investors, they don't just stand by, they are constantly moving. And they always seek new opportunities. As for the worst possible outcome, your business will just fail and destroy itself because it is just not relevant. All work and no play. A lot of people tend to think that entrepreneurs, co-founders and investors are just too serious. They think that as soon as you're aboard of the startup ship, you have to be all for the serious business. But these people, just ordinary people, just like you and me, and they also like a good joke and something to laugh about. No one likes to be too serious, and perhaps this character is exactly what made these people big. And here we should say a word about social media. Did you notice how many people just use their Twitter accounts, in an informal way? For example, if you take any startup advisor, there are hardly any of them who will just talk about figures, statistics, graphics, reports, etc. That is just boring. Instead, they like just small chit-chats or just a talk with any subscriber. So consider yourself putting into that position. Depending on market demands only. Doing a primary research is an essential tool in creating and distributing your business, and it is essential for it to go viral and famous. Nevertheless, we can take an example of various messenger apps on the Play Market or on the App Store. Can you definitely say that they are completely different? No. The answer is no, they are just the same. And their difference lies in their stability, usability, and various additional functions. So you can consider this option when you talk about what can you make. Functionality and stability are the things which you should pay attention to. That's what makes these apps successful. That's what will make famous you. Our world is a whirlwind of different taboos and stereotypes. Some beliefs may be useful, but some of them, they stop you at the very beginning. And how to deal with that, you may ask? Well, actually, the best solution to this is just simple analysis. Think about the results you can get if you break these rules. With our tips, we can definitely say that you will break this ceiling with your business. And if you need some help, just tell us.